Good evening, everybody. Welcome inside LaSalle College High School. Some miscommunication on the start time for this one, so we join you just a few minutes into it. A little less than 3 to go in an 8-minute first quarter, and LaSalle, the home team in this holiday tournament, trailing by 1, 9-8 against Fairmount Heights out of Maryland. Bob Long, Kevin McClernand, and Joe Shuron from the class of 2020 here with us. We're so excited to be alongside. And this has been an entertaining one so far. Fairmount Heights dressed in the road gray uniforms, LaSalle in the home whites. A long shot, no good. That's good position inside. The sophomore Nix Verano, who's had a great couple of weeks. It's over the top already. The 5th team foul against Fairmount Heights. They're a team that likes to get out on the run, create some steals. They'll play full court pressure, but early aggressiveness getting the better of them. Start with Joe Shuron. Welcome to the broadcast. Sorry this was a little bit of a hectic one getting on, but so happy to have you, man.
Thank you, Bob. It's a tremendous opportunity. I'm just really thankful to be on here.
And Patty Heckert is helping us out here as well. He's sitting next to you, Joe. He's doing camera for the first half. We'll switch you guys off halfway through. Again, we will make this more of a well-oiled machine as the year goes on, but so happy that you guys can be with us here tonight. Here's Keyshawn Johnson. He is dribbling into a whole bunch of traffic, and LaSalle comes up with the ball. It's going to be a jump ball. As a nice job there by number 22 for LaSalle, Sean Jennings, to hop on it. Alternate possession will give it back to LaSalle. Kevin McClernand here as well from the class of 2010 from Holy Ghost Prep. So he has his local basketball vibes coming to Winmore, Pennsylvania to call some hoops for us. Longtime Bob Long sports correspondent in town for the holidays. Thanks for being here, Kevin.
Yep, glad I can always call these games of the holidays, and it's going to be another fun one today.
It is. It's a LaSalle team. We've talked about it all year. A less experienced team than the one that went to the state semifinals, but we're seeing a team play hard night after night. A few impassioned comebacks over the last few weeks. There's a good off-ball cut by Timby. Count it and one. No, they're going to wave it off on the floor. Let's get one more look at this one, and there's the tail end of it, but boy, I am surprised, guys, to see that one waved off. 6th team foul, however, on Fairmount Heights. Checking out of the game, number 11, Daquan Thomas. Timby, an open three in the corner. That's no good. He's going to get after his own rebound and able to corral it. And now he will shoot at the line as number 10, Clarence Fields Jr., commits the personal. First for Fields, 7th, as we mentioned, against this Fairmount Heights team. It's a team that averages about 20 steals per game in a 32-minute basketball game. That's absolutely unbelievable, but full court pressure for 32 minutes will do that for you. A little bit of over-aggressiveness early on has them in some trouble. It's 9 apiece with 59 seconds to play in the first quarter. Timby, the lone returning starter from last year's state semifinal team, gets the shooter's roll on both, and LaSalle with a 10-9 lead, their first lead of the evening. So for the LaSalle faithful out there, we come on the air. The Explorers start playing some pretty good basketball. There's a long three for Johnson, in and out. Good position inside, and another loose ball foul will send LaSalle to the line. This time it'll be Matt Spinelli.
This certainly is a lot of fouls in the first quarter.
It's really unbelievable, an 8-minute basketball game, and already the 8th team foul. That's the first against number 34, Michael Howard, senior at 6'5", but that time, Joe, it was Spinelli with good position inside.
Yeah, he really boxed him out pretty good. This other team's really aggressive, though. They just seem to be really, just trying to foul him, get physical with him early.
They've been a team that's been able to outscore teams all year long. But tonight it's LaSalle's defense forcing those long contested threes. A lot of the time from Johnson. He hit 6 threes in the first quarter of the last game that Fairmount Heights played. That's a wild shot. Great defense. Brought down, and a foul is called. Horace Simmons commits the personal. One more look. He got his own rebound. Did Markel Norman. And there's the contact.
LaSalle foul number 23, Horace Simmons, sets his first, team second. On the line, shooting 1, Markel Norman, shooting 2, Markel Norman.
Norman, a strong guard. He has a nose for the ball. 4 steals in his last time out. Second coming up, 45 seconds to play in an action-packed first quarter. Joined you about halfway through. A scheduling change led to this game being the 6 o'clock game instead of the 7:30 game. But the LaSalle Explorers came out ready to play in this one. Now DePietro has it as Verano will break the pressure well. Looking for an open 3 in transition. Timby in and out. Now Norman again. Went off his leg. Loose ball. And a travel will give it right back to LaSalle. Kevin, a pretty good look in transition for Timby, but a nice job by LaSalle to get back defensively in what was essentially a created transition look for Fairmount Heights.
Yeah, it's always tough to get back in transition there, and they did a good job and forced the turnover.
Here's Liam O'Donnell. He'll run the show with 17 seconds left. Poked away into the student section. It'll stay with LaSalle. LaSalle's last time out, a 45-34 win over Central Catholic in this very building. It was this past Saturday leading into Christmas. Now O'Donnell having trouble getting it in, and Shane Holland there, and a foul is called. Contact to the head caused by Clarence Fields Jr. Last single bonus look for Holland, 1-1 upcoming.
We are certainly going to see their depth today with all these fouls. A lot of players are going to get in the game.
That's already the second on Norman. Nix Verano will check out of the game. Sean Jennings in his place for a defensive substitution for the final 13 seconds of the first quarter. LaSalle 13, Fairmount Heights 11. And Holland hits them both. Johnson across the timeline, still 8 to shoot. Patience here from Fairmount Heights. Crossover, steps into it. No good. There's one more tip. It won't go. And after 1 quarter of play, it's LaSalle 14, Fairmount Heights 11 in the holiday tournament here from Winmore. We'll take a break, come back on the other side, and you're watching LaSalle College High School basketball here on Bob.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
I chose CCM because I have found that this company, on the level of scaling that we have here, the volume that we are doing, to truly have every department head and employee fully engaged in the mission of the company to make it an originator-focused, production-first company. I have not found that anywhere I've worked, and I've worked at one of the largest banks in the world, down to the smallest tiny community bank and correspondent lender. No one has been able to consistently deliver that message.
Fairmount Heights will have the ball to start the second quarter.
Beginning of the second quarter here on Bob Long Sports. Bob Long, Kevin McLaren, and Joe Shuron here on play-by-play. There's a big offensive rebound and foul. That'll send number 13, Tyler Hawkins, to the line for 2. Patty Heckert is with us on camera. Appreciate him being here as well. He will join us in the second half on play-by-play, and Joe will turn to camera. So getting some good experience on both sides here for our student broadcasters.
On the line shooting 2, Tyler Hawkins.
Hawkins, not particularly close on the first. Joe, what have you seen this year from this LaSalle team, and what are you looking forward to seeing in this holiday tournament tonight?
They seem to be good shooters, and they seem to have a lot of perimeter shooting. So it's nice to see. I don't know. I like seeing 3-point shots and everything. I think a lot of people do. So I don't know. It's eventful. Yeah.
Well, they can space the floor well. I certainly agree there, and that can open up some driving lanes, and certainly the efficiency of a guy like Timby. That one's knocked out of bounds as Timby was going for the back cut. Explorers lead 14-12. There's Timby with a runner in the lane, off the front rim, no good. Johnson with the extra pass, a drive, but a travel first. We'll get one more look at that on the replay. A good extra pass there to the corner, but a little stutter caused that travel. It'll go back the other way. Full court pressure, get used to this one from Fairmount Heights. O'Donnell has some good size at shooting guard position. Now he's playing point. Picked up his dribble and thrown away. Fairmount Heights basketball. Just picked up his dribble, Kevin, in a tough spot, and difficult with the length of Fairmount Heights to get yourself out of trouble there.
The length and the speed. I mean, like you said, the full court press is definitely going to test this offense at breaking the press and getting good passes.
A lazy pass there. Nice job by Keyshawn Johnson. And LaSalle transitions to a 2-3 zone defense. Looking to force the shot from the perimeter. Johnson, foot on the line. That one's good. A long two for Keyshawn Johnson, and we're all tied up at 14.
And if you're LaSalle, you're definitely going to let them take those shots. It's a very difficult long two right there.
We mentioned in the first quarter that Johnson is a guy who has hit 6 threes in the first quarter in a game earlier this year. O'Donnell, nice job by Verano to come out and pick up the long rebound. Holland wants the ball. He was open, and he stepped on the sideline. So bit of a disjointed possession there, buoyed by the offensive rebound, but LaSalle turns it over.
Substitutions for the Explorers, number 22, Sean Jennings.
Fairmount Heights unbeaten on the year. LaSalle 4-4, and that's a long three, just hoisted over top of the zone. It's good for Markel Norman.
3 from Markel Norman.
I'll say it again, Kevin. You said it so accurately the first time. That's a shot you'll give up. No passes, right over top of the zone. Jennings had a chance to go up with it. Now it's loose. And Fairmount Heights comes out the other way. Don't have a ton of numbers. Doesn't matter for Johnson, who knocks it down.
3 from Markel Norman.
Transition 3, no numbers. 3 in a row shots where you scratch your head, but they scratch the twine on their way through. Now Liam O'Donnell for the answer. That's a good look. Inside-out action. And a timeout called by Mike McKee. 20-17, Fairmount Heights leads.
30-second timeout, LaSalle.
Expecting an adjustment on defense here after giving up those 3 consecutive shots deep. Maybe switching out of that zone, maybe.
Yeah, it is interesting because the zone, you're really looking for a team to hoist threes and really not move the ball into the paint. But Fairmount Heights launching him from deep and finding twine each time. So out of the timeout, Fairmount Heights will run their same 5. Kevin Lee, Keyshawn Johnson, Delonte Rayner, along with Markel Norman, Tyler Hawkins, the last one of the 5. LaSalle, Jake Timby, Shane Holland, Liam O'Donnell, Mike DiPietro, and Nick Verano. 4 guys that can shoot the 3, and DiPietro providing that inside presence. No good on that 3. That was backboard first, and now another foul on the loose ball shooting once again as that goes against number 13, Tyler Hawkins.
And we did see that defensive adjustment, but instead of man, they went to box and one, put on Keyshawn Johnson.
Number 3, Delonte Rayner. That's his second, team's 10th.
That's one that just kills you if you're Chuck Henry, the head coach for Fairmount Heights. You have all the momentum in the world. You'd kind of gotten the fouls under control, and now you're putting LaSalle on the line with a foul committed 94 feet from LaSalle's offensive basket. Matt Spinelli checks into the game, replacing Mike DiPietro. Spinelli has given good minutes in the past. And Joe, I don't know how many of these you've seen, but I've been impressed with Spinelli's ability to come in, a little bit undersized at the forward position, but provides a lot of toughness, pretty good rebounder, and seems to create things when he's out there.
Yeah, he's good. He's a really good vertical, too. He can really jump, so he's good.
Now a baseline drive, stepping on the end line. Another turnover from Markel Norman.
Substitution for Fairmount Heights.
Here's the tail end of that one, stepping on the end line, giving it back to the LaSalle Explorers. It's 20-18 as Holland went 1 for 2 on the other end. Timby now guarded by the longer Keyshawn Johnson. We've seen this as a trend as well. Timby, the most proficient three-point shooter for this team, without the length of last year, as Timby takes it right to the hoop. Really nice from Jake Timby. But we've seen the longest defender, the longest wing player from the opposition, guard Jake Timby on almost a nightly basis because they know that's the guy they don't want to get beaten by.
South foul number 24, Matt Spinelli. That's his first, team's first.
Matt Spinelli picks up his first. That's the team's fourth. Nice tap play there. Keyshawn Johnson. He's calling for the ball. You'll see it right here. As soon as this ball is distributed, rise up all in one motion. That's beautiful. There's a back cut from Liam O'Donnell. The feed from Nick Sperano. And it's a thing of beauty offensively for LaSalle. One more look.
And on a team like that, like this, that is being very aggressive. Those are the kind of cuts you have to make backdoor and get an easy layup.
And in the midst of that 3-second replay, Fairmount Heights turned it over again. And a grab called against Fairmount Heights. Shane Holland will go to the line. This time it's Daquan Thomas who can't believe it, and it's been a night of disbelief from the Fairmount Heights players, but real simple. You can't grab in the backcourt, full court as it may be.
Daquan Thomas.
Yeah, these fouls are going to kill them, too, if they don't stop here.
Yeah, I mean, Daquan Thomas himself, Joe, you mentioned, that's 3 fouls on Thomas. They do have a deep bench, Joe, coming up from Maryland, but we might have to see it. Holland hits both. 24-22, LaSalle leads. We're halfway home here in the second quarter. Again, thanks everybody for being with us. Bob Long, Kevin McClernand, Joe Shuron here. Your broadcast team, Patty Heckard, is on camera. Well short there. Verano takes it off the bottom part of the rim. And a nice job to distribute. He'll get it right back. Good cut there. Extra pass. Timby for 3. Got it. Jake Timby for 3. Such good ball movement in the lane. The one-touch pass from Holland sets up the big-time 3. Zone defense again. We saw Fairmount Heights shoot right over the top of this, Kevin, but they went right back to it.
Yep, and this has been a big response since they called that timeout. The LaSalle defense has really stepped up.
Tough shot there. And an offensive foul is called there, and the loose ball is, looked like number 13, Tyler Hawkins, went for the rebound. I think that's who it went against. Little push in the back for Mike DiPietro.
Tyler Hawkins, that's his first. On the line.
And as you mentioned, these fouls are occurring way far from the basket. Very unnecessary. A lot of offensive rebounds attempted going over the back.
And there is confusion as to who was taking the foul shots. DiPietro went to the block. I thought it was DiPietro that would be taking the shots, but it is Holland, a more proficient foul shooter, hits the first. And if you're Chuck Henry, I think there's a marginal and understandable amount of concern there. If you guys can't even tell me who's taking the shots, how can you tell me there was a foul? But nonetheless, Shane Holland hits both. Under 3 minutes to go, second quarter. Norman, he is fouled, and this time I think it is DiPietro who picks it up. But it is Nick Ferrano, so we guessed wrong twice in a row. But Kevin, that's a pretty good slice to the hoop there by Norman.
Yep, yeah, nice little jump cut to the side also, splitting the defenders, getting that foul.
And he hits the foul shot, much needed, as Fairmount Heights was on quite the scoring drought leading into that conversion at the foul stripe. Good rebound there by DiPietro. LaSalle will settle this down. O'Donnell for three. That one's no good. LaSalle stays in the box and one. It's Liam O'Donnell on Keyshawn Johnson, and I think that look frustrated Fairmount a bit. They're going to take a look at it. A full timeout on the floor as Chuck Henry is going to break that down. I think that's the right decision there, Kevin. You mentioned the box and one earlier. The longer 6'1", 6'2", Liam O'Donnell on the longer Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, but now we'll see their response on offense. You would expect some picks happening, screens in the back door to try to get Keyshawn Johnson open.
Full timeout here on the floor. This portion of today's game is brought to you by our partners at Casey's Alley in Ambler, a great place to go. Watch the game during or after. Certainly we recommend being here for the atmosphere. But if you can't make it here, or LaSalle's out of town and we're calling the game, it's the best place to watch basketball, football. Grab yourself a nice drink and wonderful food. LaSalle family runs it, and you can park right at the Ambler train station. Hopefully SEPTA doesn't have me wiretapped here, but I'm pretty sure you can do that and get away with it. But Casey's Alley in Ambler is a great place to go with your family, with your friends, all throughout the holiday season. They're a proud partner of Bob Long Sports and LaSalle Athletics. All right, Joe, so break us down. What have you seen so far here? I know you're going to be working with Patty and switching off to camera at some point, so we want to get your thoughts on what you've seen this half so far.
Seems like Fairmount's come out really aggressive. They've really been pushing the pace, and I mean, it seems like the fouls have really been getting to them, and it's been slowing them down, and I don't seem to really like it. And it seems like LaSalle was playing their more aggressive pace, and they're kind of slowing it down a little bit more too, and it seems to be frustrating Fairmount to a certain degree.
Certainly there, and could not have been more apropos on timing there. The Keyshawn Lee, box and one, as LaSalle just will not give Keyshawn Johnson, Keyshawn Johnson, they're not giving him looks. Good hand in the passing lane there by Johnson, however. Now Timby spins by, and a back tap out of bounds by Fairmount Heights. 2 minutes exactly to play here in the second quarter. LaSalle 29, Fairmount Heights 23. If you're just joining us and you expected us on at 7:30, certainly our apologies. Some changes in the schedule, unbeknownst to us until very late, as Nick Verano commits the personal. So we hopped on at about 6:10, which was just a couple minutes into the first quarter. I think we joined at about 9 to 8. And here we are now, LaSalle with a 29-23 lead in the first round of the holiday tournament. Three is short. Offensive rebound. Travel, though, will give it right back to LaSalle. And for about the fourth time today, Tyler Hawkins with his palms to the sky at the tail end of a whistle. Full court pressure once again from Fairmount Heights. The trusty Jake Timby across the timeline. Horace Simmons set the screen. Now a mismatch of Simmons. He actually breaks to the outside. I want to see him get down low. Instead, it's Verano with his back to the basket, spins, fires, and a pretty good look that wouldn't go. Verano got his hands in the passing lane. Now a double team, and Holland chooses to call the timeout. Second timeout called by LaSalle. I think he was going to be in some trouble there, and if this results in the last shot of the half and LaSalle can draw it up, I think that's certainly a worthy timeout called by Holland.
30-second timeout, LaSalle.
And LaSalle's done a great job of not turning the ball over against his press, making the smart decisions. I mean, they have turned the ball over a couple times, but overall I think they've done a good job.
We look inside the huddle right now. Mike McKee drawing up a play. Certainly looks like it could be one final play. I think LaSalle absolutely will go at this if they can get a look at the basket. Doesn't matter when it comes, but I don't see any rush here. 80 seconds, no shot clock in high school basketball is well known. No reason to do anything silly here. The only thing that can be a struggle is you have a long and aggressive defensive team in Fairmount Heights that could coerce a steal if you take things a bit too gingerly.
And we've seen this team.
That is not gingerly. Oh, my goodness. He will shoot two at the line, kind of a 50-50 ball. And I think LaSalle somewhat of a beneficiary of that call, Kevin.
Yeah, that was a 50-50 ball, like you said, and both guys jumped for the ball. And LaSalle got the fortunate foul call. We could be saying that about the entire half, the fortunate foul call, though.
That's right. Holland hits the first. Markel Norman picks up his second personal foul. In and out for Holland. It's 30-23. LaSalle with the lead. Highly doubt they get to the end of the half without taking a shot. Tough one. Good defense there by DePietro. Brought down but taken right away. Norman is bumped by DePietro in the act of shooting, they say. Here's another look. Just tears it right away. A body contact down below. It was clean up top. But the body contact, the reason for the foul call.
LaSalle foul number 33, Mike DePietro. That is his second, team 7. On the line, shooting 2, Markel Norman.
Got the roll on the first. Sean Jennings checks out. Nick Verano in there, and it's good to see Sean Jennings playing some good minutes. I was commenting at our last broadcast on the road at Archbishop Ryan that he was a guy that was playing almost exclusively JV and occasionally got a minute or two in the first 2 Catholic games, but in the second half of that Archbishop Ryan game declared that he needed to be on the floor. Was part of the comeback, a great defensive presence, and a guy that can do it offensively as well. Boy, oh boy. Just the way you draw it up if you're Shane Holland. Could have easily been a turnover, but instead, an easy bucket for LaSalle. 45 seconds left in the half. They want to get the ball inside. The big rises up, can't get it over the front rim. That was Michael Howard. And a pretty good job defensively by DePietro. DePietro goes up high. Verano a 3. That one barely grazed the iron, and I think LaSalle speeding themselves up to Fairmount Heights' pace, just not what they want. Borderline ridiculous 3 that time from Keyshawn Johnson goes begging, and now, and I think only now, will we get one more shot at the end of the half. Verano pulls up, he's blocked. Johnson doesn't get it off. And a chaotic ending to the first half. It's 32-25, LaSalle leads after 2 quarters of play in the first round of the semifinal round of the holiday tournament here at LaSalle College High School. Your broadcast team, Bob Long, Kevin McClernand, Joe Shuron. Patty Heckert is with us on camera. We'll have Patty with us here in the second half. Stay with us, everybody. We appreciate everybody being here. Thanks for the patience. In a bit of a delay here this evening. It was originally scheduled a 7:30 tip. Our fault here. 7:30 tip became 6 o'clock tip, and we were running a little bit hot in here, but in and on the air at about 6:10, halfway through the first quarter. You didn't miss much. And the fireworks certainly came in the second quarter as LaSalle teased themselves up a 7-point lead heading into half and getting ready for the second half. Stay with us. We'll be back after a word from these sponsors.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation, our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
I chose CCM because I have found that this company, on the level of scaling that we have here, the volume that we are doing, to truly have every department head and employee fully engaged in the mission of the company to make it an originator-focused, production-first company. I have not found that anywhere I've worked, and I've worked at one of the largest banks in the world, down to the smallest tiny community bank and correspondent lender. No one has been able to consistently deliver that message.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report live on Bob Long Sports. Today we're going to talk about the offensive line and our man of the hour, the chef, the man himself, Des Holmes and Mike Miranda, your disruptors on the Penn State offensive line.
This year, you're going to see all four guys run. They all bring a different style.
The quarterback is going to read the defensive end's eyes and make a determination. Am I going to keep this football or am I going to hand it off to the running back? And that is generally the point of the RPO. Look who we have. We have Chris Perangeli, our guest picker for the evening.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
I chose CCM because I have found that this company, on the level of scaling that we have here, the volume that we are doing, to truly have every department head and employee fully engaged in the mission of the company to make it an originator-focused, production-first company. I have not found that anywhere I've worked, and I've worked at one of the largest banks in the world, down to the smallest tiny community bank and correspondent lender. No one has been able to consistently deliver that message.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Nittany Lions Sports Report live on Bob Long Sports. Today we're going to talk about the offensive line and our man of the hour, the chef, the man himself, Des Holmes and Mike Miranda, your disruptors on the Penn State offensive line.
This year, you're going to see all four guys run. They all bring a different style.
The quarterback is going to read the defensive end's eyes and make a determination. Am I going to keep this football or am I going to hand it off to the running back? And that is generally the point of the RPO. Look who we have. We have Chris Perangeli, our guest picker for the evening.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
Welcome back, everybody. Beginning of the third quarter here on Bob Long Sports. Bob Long, Kevin McClernand, Patty Heckard is with us here on color commentary for the second half. Class of 2020 here at LaSalle. Patty, welcome. Good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's great to have you, and we are looking forward to you trying your hand here and having you throughout the course of the year as well.
Thank you. I'm going to give it my all.
So what did you see? You're on camera, so you're looking through the lens, of course, but what did you see there in the first half?
So much like Joe said earlier, Fairmount is a very high-paced team. They're not looking for the possession, drawn-out offensive drives. They're really trying to get that ball up as soon as they get down the other half of the court.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that one. And we've seen throughout their season, averaging about 85 points per game, they want to get the shots up, and they've been able to do so very effectively throughout the course of the year. I think the box and one was quite effective here for this LaSalle team. over the course of the first half. We'll see if they stay with it defensively. Offensively, they've had to contend with a lot of man-to-man here from this Fairmount Heights team. They got into foul trouble, did Fairmount Heights in the first half. That's a good look up top. Deliverance here this time as Liam O'Donnell pushes the pace, and a good finish there. The stutter after that first dribble drive got him into the lane. Good finish.
And they come back out in that box and one, like you mentioned.
It's Liam O'Donnell on Keyshawn Johnson. Timby guards Norman as Norman got inside. Tough pass there, intercepted. O'Donnell, another hesitation dribble. He's hit hard, no foul call. And it'll be LaSalle ball underneath their own offensive basket. Tough to believe there. A lot of contact.
Especially considering how they called the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of fouls there. Yeah.
O'Donnell will inbound. A box look as LaSalle comes out. Timby's open. Decent close out there by Norman. Prevented the pull-up. DePietro with his back to the basket. He'll spin inside. That's a good move from the big man for LaSalle. He's a skilled big man. We've been looking for that, and have seen that over the course of the year. Good to see DePietro get that look. Nearly thrown away again. They're going to get it back, just barely. Delonte Rayner, he lost it. Out of bounds, last touch by DePietro. But a great defensive play. One more look at that one. Active hands there. DePietro is senior, getting his chance with the departure of 7 seniors last year, all with significant time. Great defense there, a block and a jump ball. Alternate possession, but what a play by Mike DePietro. And a moving screen, pretty easy call there as Michael Howard was nowhere near set. Stuck out that right foot a little bit at the end as well. And a giveaway there by Fairmount Heights.
A lot of eyes on the ball for Fairmount's offense. And they need to move around the ball more and move off the ball.
Liam O'Donnell with his back to the basket. Horace Simmons. And they run a little weave here for Timby, who will pull up. No good. In rhythm 3. That one's no good. And a foul is called. That's another quick one on Michael Howard, the second within the minute. 5:36 to play, third quarter. LaSalle 36, Fairmount Heights 25. That's the fourth against the big man, Michael Howard. And it's a team, guys, that doesn't have a lot of depth on the front court. So they will be tested here in the second half. And Simmons, not a good pass from the freshman, intended for Liam O'Donnell. There's O'Donnell again. That box and one forces one difficult shot.
And you can see the frustration on Johnson trying to force shots up even when he's not open.
Now the big man, DePietro, takes it across. Good skill that time. Simmons, as the lane opens up. He was blocked the first time. And a foul is called against Fairmount Heights.
The way it seems, we're going to be seeing more and more of Fairmount's bench as this game goes on.
They had foul trouble, as you said, Patty, in the first half. That's the third personal against Alante Rayner and the third against the team already. Timby in rhythm, got it. And as good of a spot-up three-point shooter as there is in the Catholic League. Good box out there at that time by DePietro. Opened up the lane for Timby to get the carom. And DePietro's pass intercepted there. Not a good look. Here comes Norman the other way. High off the window. He's fouled in the act of shooting. First team foul against LaSalle here in the second half.
Those are the kind of opportunities they're going to have to create in the second half. It seems like their offense is very stagnant in the half court. They're going to have to get out in transition.
Norman hits the first. This portion of today's game brought to you by Carrie Guerin Boyle and Jim McLaughlin of the Carrie Guerin Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Jim is a LaSalle alumni. His father and three sons attended LaSalle as well. Carrie's family's been associated with the Explorer brand for generations, and she currently has a sophomore in the class of 2022. Certainly you can trust that you'll be treated like family as well when dealing with this real estate team, whether you're buying or selling your home. Here's Jennings in a tough spot. Wide open is Verano. How did he find him? And it's followed by Spinelli. What a play. And a foul is called against Nix Verano on the floor. One more time for our folks at Berkshire Hathaway. Jim McLaughlin, call him at 267-242-5991. Carrie at 267-626-6818 for any real estate questions. Licensed in PA and New Jersey. Patty, let's go back to that last play. Jennings picked up his dribble in the worst possible spot, but the eyes downfield, that was unbelievable.
That was one miraculous pass. It was quite insane that Nix was able to get the ball. Even though he missed it, Spinelli there for the rebound, get up the 2 points, get through that press from Fairmount.
I mean, it cannot be understated. Spinelli not giving up on that play and what looked like an open layup. Crashing the boards. Nobody from Fairmount Heights was on there. And right now, LaSalle winning just about every 50-50 ball. And you give yourself a better chance for those miraculous plays, as you say, to go your way when you're out hustling the opposition. This time it's a 50-50 ball controlled by Fairmount Heights, trying to turn the tide. Tough shot, won't finish, but two shots coming up at the line for number 10, Clarence Fields Jr.
And those are the types of turnovers they weren't making in the first half, and Salle keeps committing those. This lead might shrink a little.
41-26. Third quarter, again, for those of you just joining us, there was some confusion on the start time. So what was originally listed as 7:30 got moved to 6. Certainly our apologies on the Bob Long Sports side. We didn't get on the same page in time. So if you're watching our link and it says 7:30 and you're thinking, well, it's 7:05, yep, this one got moved up. And we're here with you now. We got on to the air with about 4 minutes left in the first quarter. It was 9-8 at the time, and since then, it has been a lot of momentum for LaSalle. They've converted that into a lot of buckets, and you're seeing a shorthanded and deep bench Fairmount Heights team trying to claw their way back about halfway home here in the third quarter. Bob Long, Kevin McClernand, Patty Heckard. Kevin, your thoughts here. This timeout, LaSalle has had so much control here in the third quarter, and until a few minutes ago, Fairmount Heights hadn't even been on the board. They've only scored 2 points here in this half, but you feel a little bit of a sense of potentially a momentum shift in the way the last 2 minutes have gone.
We saw Fairmount get, I think, up to 22 points after some big shots by Keyshawn Johnson. And since then, that was probably about halfway through the second. They switched that box and one on Keyshawn, and only 5 points since then. So really, that was a huge turning point in the game so far.
It has been just a couple turnovers in recent possessions for LaSalle, but still in control. A 14-point lead. Fairmount Heights trying to speed up LaSalle, and they will. They get the turnover. They ran into their own guy and turned it over. One more look. A really good play to get on the floor first, cause the turnover, and yeah, it's just unfortunate if you're a Fairmount Heights fan. But LaSalle, a chance to regroup, get it across the timeline, And Patty, I'll say this, do not play to the pace of their opponents. This is one where you want to slow it down. Take your time and get the look you want. Liam O'Donnell drives inside. Good look for Timby. That one's no good. But a pretty good look there for the Explorers. Traveling called against Fairmount Heights, and Chuck Henry not particularly pleased with his big man, number 13, Tyler Hawkins.
It seems like LaSalle has changed entirely defensively, like their momentum and their pace of play on defense ever since the second half. A lot more difficult shots for Fairmount to take, and it's really showing.
Tell you what else shows. That was beautifully designed. That was out of the most recent timeout. A design play to break that pressure was executed to perfection. Now Timby gets inside the runner. It's good. Really nice. And that's exactly the answer that LaSalle wanted from just an inkling of momentum for Fairmount Heights. That has been quashed in a big way, and the Explorers are in complete control. Good hands in the passing lane. Tough shot there. Traveling called against Markel Norman. LaSalle basketball, 2:18 to play, third quarter. And Liam O'Donnell comes up limping, so he will be taken off, and he's having trouble getting off on his own power.
For LaSalle, number 22, Sean Jennings.
Dave Crow comes out, the trainer, to take a look.
And rather than just breaking the press in this half, LaSalle's really attacking once they get to that half court, not letting them get reset defensively and getting some layups because of it.
O'Donnell had trouble even bending that knee. Now it looks like he's moving a little bit easier, so good to see. But I would be surprised to see him back. Timby nearly slipped as well. But now they break the pressure. Spinelli. He'll hang, no good. Tipped up by Verano, and he's fouled. And behind the play, looked like Timby was maybe just upset with himself. Looked like he was grabbing his face, but it is Nick's Verano. Timby looks fine now, and Verano hits the foul shot, and a big clang of the buzzer as that ball's in midair. That was perhaps just a touch premature. Nick Verano hits both. Kevin, the pressure being broken by LaSalle has been exquisite the last few possessions.
Exactly, yeah. And like I said, they're attacking once they're breaking it, which is getting those layups. And just missed an opportunity there. Verano was wide open, but he gets the three.
And hits it. There you go. And that time, that's just a total defensive breakdown by Fairmount Heights. There were 4 guys in the backcourt. I get you want to pressure, but that's just brutal defense. And another open three given up, though, by Timby. Got a better look and hit that one. And right now, Chuck Henry, I would think, needs a timeout. His defensive unit is totally out of sorts. Wild shot goes. Good left-handed finish by Daquan Thomas. And a delay of game is called. First delay of game, that's just a warning.
Fairmount Heights basket, number 11, Daquan Thomas.
Score is 52-29, LaSalle in control.
And even though that went in, not a very high-quality shot, they get it to go, but this whole second half has not been quality shots for them.
That is a quality shot. Nick Verano, so good from the corner. Hits the three, and LaSalle leads by 26. Good follow there, Clarence Fields Jr. But perhaps the only suspense at this point, and this is important. Will the championship game be at noon tomorrow or 1:30? We're going to have to figure that one out. Make sure we're in the right spot at the right time. DePietro is blocked, but a foul is called against Keyshawn Lee. No, I should say Delonte Rayner. That's his 4th in that case.
Fairmount Heights foul number 3, Delonte Rayner. That's his 4th.
Not happy with the call.
Very close to a technical foul, you would have to imagine.
And that's Fairmount's second player with 4 fouls. They really need to start watching it, or we're going to be seeing more and more of the bench come out.
Rattled the first one home, Mike DiPietro. In fact, I think if Keyshawn Johnson was not right there to hold him back, I think he's teed up. Which, by the way, would have been his exit call.
Substitution for the Explorers, number 23, Horace Simmons.
Johnson gets the roll.
3 for Keyshawn Johnson.
So that time he beat the boxing one down the floor. Timeout called by Jennings, and Keyshawn Johnson can't believe there wasn't a 5-second call. Perhaps the clock in his head going a little bit quickly. That was a solid 3.5, maybe 4.
Full timeout, LaSalle.
And this third quarter, I mean, LaSalle has really created that separation. I believe it was a 7-point game at halftime.
That's right.
Now we're up to 22 already, and that was right after that 3 they hit, so it was just 25 points.
And it's both sides, right? I mean, anytime you get an extension of the lead like that, it's going to be both offense and defense. But you're looking at a 25-point quarter here for LaSalle. And a bench warning has been called off camera against Fairmount Heights. Chuck Henry spending, or one of his assistants spending his portion of the timeout, getting his word in with the official. So
what are the rules on that? 2 bench warnings? Is that a technical foul?
A second bench warning would be a technical foul. Remember, the first warning was the delay of game warning. So the next one of that would be a technical foul, and the second bench warning would be a technical as well. So they're in it deep here, I would say. No real room for error. Not that we go into a game expecting to need it, but that grace period is now gone. Jennings, a nice job to dribble through a double. DiPietro, a good strong catch. Great feed inside. Nick Verano counted and one.
The basket for Nick Verano.
Tremendous job by LaSalle. Starting with Jennings, DiPietro can't stress enough. He didn't see that like a safety coming over the top, coming to rip that ball away, but he was strong through the catch, a good feed inside.
Nick Verano.
During that first half, that Fairmount press, full court press, really seems something that LaSalle would have to worry about further on in the game. But now LaSalle's taking full advantage of it, finding people further down the court and getting easy layups down low.
10 seconds left in the quarter. Verano, really nice steal. Plenty of time here. Jennings all the way to the hoop. Finishes with 2 seconds left. And that's actually going to be an opportunity here for LaSalle, I think. Well, in a 61-35 game, perhaps not. But that was a violation on the inbound as he stepped in bounds as he was stepping to throw with his left foot. Stepped in bounds, and I think if this was a 3-point game, you might have LaSalle with the ball with about 0.5 left. But as it stands, they're going to send this chaotic game to the fourth quarter. LaSalle in complete control, up 25 points.
And we've been talking about how they've been breaking the press, and it's the short passes, not the long passes all the way down the court that are breaking. It's nice, crisp, short ones that get them down the court quickly.
And I'll say again, this is a LaSalle team that's 4-4. They've had their ups this year. They've had their downs. They're finding their roles. There's a lot of young players, and these are a lot of guys that, Timby, O'Donnell, DiPietro aside, but, you look at Horace Simmons, a freshman. Jennings has some time left. There are guys here, Nick Verano being a sophomore, Ireland, sophomore, guys that are going to be the face of this LaSalle program for a long time. They're getting great experience here, and this is a Fairmount Heights team that is forcing 20 turnovers a game. We haven't seen that type of success defensively for Fairmount against a young LaSalle team, and that says a lot, I think, about a group of guys that's going to grow in their roles throughout a very difficult 2019-2020 Philadelphia Catholic League season.
I definitely feel like these younger players are definitely trying to make their mark early on in the LaSalle basketball career. They're a large graduating class last year, and they're ready to prove that they're capable of being a starter for this team.
Good drive there by Ireland. Charles Ireland, one more look as he drove right at the zone defense and drew the foul. 7 minutes, 49 seconds to play in this one. Bob Long, Kevin McClernand, Patty Heckard here. Your broadcast team, Joe Shuron, joined us for the first and second quarters, and he is doing a great job on camera here in the second half. After hitting both, LaSalle now with a 28-point lead. They stay in that box and one. This time it's Sean Jennings. Step back three, and it's good.
They are giving him no breathing room whatsoever. As soon as they get the ball, they are right on him.
Give some credit to Mike McKee. I mean, you look at it now, and it might not look like rocket science, but that is their offense. Spinelli, no foul. Second one goes off the rim begging. He'll shoot two at the line, but I mean, really, Keyshawn Johnson is the offense, and Mike McKee has drawn up the perfect defense with the perfect defender, putting a longer, more agile defender on Keyshawn Johnson. And to LaSalle's credit, perhaps to the indictment of Fairmount Heights, there's been absolutely no change in the offensive mindset. Spinelli no good. Verano had a piece of it. But back the other way comes Keyshawn Johnson. There's an open three. Get passed up for a better one, and that one will not go. Good rebound, but a foul is called there on Spinelli as that one was too strong off the glass.
Well, southbound number 23, the southbound number 24, Matt Spinelli, that's his second.
Matt Spinelli picks up his second. That's the team's fourth. Of note, 9 team fouls against Fairmount Heights. Double bonus the rest of the way for LaSalle.
And Fairmount Heights has really struggled in the half-court offense, and I mean, knowing how many times they have turnover or cause turnovers in regular games, I mean, they're probably in transition normally, so not too much experience in that half-court offense this year, probably.
No doubt about that. Not from the highlights that I've seen. A lot of contact there on Timby. DePietro comes to get it. Nice job by Ireland to get it right back. Simmons, he'll drive right at the hoop. Boy, I thought he was hit. No foul call, and here comes Keyshawn Johnson the other way. Norman didn't really know where he wanted to pass that one and got ahead of his skis a bit. Timby, good finish there. First of all, thought he was hacked in the backcourt. Wasn't called. And really nice English there to finish. Banks it home, Keyshawn Johnson. When in doubt, just fire it from deep. And there's that latent call that I think could have come on the last possession. Timby will shoot 2 at the line. Markel Norman doesn't agree. I can't get over this offense. That is unbelievable. And to Keyshawn Johnson's credit, he's probably hit about 5 or 6 threes here tonight, all contested.
Especially with those 3 threes that went, they came from 3 consecutive drives. Just pull up, made them. It's insane.
You're right, and I think he hit 2 of those 3, so maybe it's more than 5, maybe more than 5 or 6 at this point. Jake Timby, very adept foul shooter.
And LaSalle's Liam O'Donnell has made his way back to the bench after leaving the court injured earlier this half.
That's great to see, and certainly you wouldn't expect him on the floor unless he's really 100%. But hopefully he can return for tomorrow's championship game.
Even if he is 100%, I don't expect to see him back in this game.
Yeah, right. The only way you'd see him is if LaSalle had some trouble getting the ball through the full court pressure. Jake Timby called for the offensive foul. 6 minutes left in the game.
Offensive foul number 11, Jake Timney. That's his first, team's fifth.
I'll say this as well as we sit here in a 24-point game. This is a difficult game to officiate, as that's a big three coming from Markel Norman down to 21. And for LaSalle, it's about not turning the ball over, not even about scoring. It's about not doing that. And I think that's going to be a topic of conversation in this timeout from Mike McKee. The thought being, pull it out, take 40 seconds off the clock. What's it matter at that point? You know, a contested layup there, even if Holland catches it cleanly, no reason not to pull it back out. Full timeout on the floor. This portion of today's game is brought to you by the real estate team of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. It's Carrie Guerin Boyle and Jim McLaughlin. Jim is a LaSalle alumni with his father and 3 sons attending LaSalle. Carrie's family has been associated with the LaSalle brand for quite some time, and she currently has a sophomore in the class of 2022 as well. Jim and Carrie have trusted their family to LaSalle, and you can trust that you will be treated like family when buying or selling your home with this real estate team. Call Jim at 267-242-5991 or Carrie at 267-626-6818 for any real estate questions. Licensed in PA and New Jersey. Still awaiting word on when the championship game will be tomorrow. Whether 12 o'clock or 1:30. One thing we do know, LaSalle will be there. They are well on their way to victory here. 5 minutes and 45 seconds left. A 21-point lead. Hand check called against number 3, Shane Holland. Just the 6th team foul. Next we'll send Fairmount Heights to the line. So I mentioned a difficult game to officiate. It's been very physical. Fairmount Heights has been very aggressive, and they've chucked, they've hand-checked. And so now, perhaps evening the score a little bit, and there's been about 3 ticky-tack fouls in a row called against the Explorers.
Number 22, Sean Jennings.
That'll send number 10, Clarence Fields Jr. to the line. Fairmount Heights has been, to put it mildly, inefficient from the line here tonight. And an offensive rebound, though, off that miss. There's an open 3. No good. Rebound corralled again by Fairmount Heights. How did he stay in bounds that time? Offensive foul. Let's take a peek. Somehow tiptoes the end line. Holland a little bit deep there. Perhaps moving, but gets the benefit of the call. Offensive foul gives it to LaSalle. That's a tough one.
Fairmount Heights foul number 2, Keyshawn Johnson. That's his first.
I don't know that the second to last call was really needed to have the whistle blown. And I don't know that that was the right call if you're going block versus charge. There's a foul called in the backcourt. Nobody's happy with the officials.
How about that, too? That offensive foul was Keyshawn Johnson's first foul of the game.
Wow.
For how many fouls they have in this game, and he's virtually been in the entire game. That's pretty impressive.
You get the sense, guys, that this 5 minutes and 6 seconds could be a little bit of a slog here, especially if Fairmount Heights can get a 3 or 2 to perhaps cut it a little bit closer. But I've seen games on highlight reels when they're up 40 points when they don't stop pressing, and I don't know if they'll stop pressing down 20. Here's DePietro. He's got a good-looking stroke at the line. Hits that one, 1 of 2. 68-46. Good drive to the hole there. And a nice finish. Markel Norman. And that's, we feel like, something they could have been doing with more efficiency throughout the game. 5 seconds. Another turnover. Fairmount Heights basketball. 4 minutes, 49 seconds left in the game.
And you would assume that this is something this team's more accustomed to, causing these types of turnovers, these 5 seconds, these bad passes.
And Keyshawn Johnson, accustomed to hitting a bunch of threes. It's a 17-point game. LaSalle having trouble getting it in. DePietro, it's off his knee. That will likely be overturned, I would think. Let's get one more look. And it did look like it went off his knee. And no conversation. So LaSalle will get the basketball back. 4:33 left in the game.
Very, very fortunate for LaSalle to get that ball there.
Nice job by Timby to get inside, but it's poked away. Norman up the floor. He's fouled and will shoot 2 at the line. So don't go anywhere. 3rd foul against Shane Holland. And a chance to cut this to 15 with 2 foul shots.
On the line, shooting 2, Markel Norman.
Not counting them out, but these shots have, I don't know if they're sustainable. These very difficult shots for Fairmount Heights are going in now, but not sure that they can keep making these to make up that 17 points.
And again, the foul line has been an enemy for Fairmount Heights. Missed them both. Holland with the rebound. Timby up the floor. There's your veteran. Pulling it back. That's exactly what you need to do. Ireland no good. And pulled down there by Norman. It's out of bounds. LaSalle basketball. And even there, you know, Ireland hasn't seen a ton of time, but even there, that's one I think you pull it back out. It's going the other way. Shane Holland picked up his 4th personal foul, and that's of note. Almost unbelievably, we are only 3 minutes and 52 seconds into this 8-minute quarter. 4 minutes and 8 seconds left. And your point guard now has 4 fouls. There's an offensive rebound inside. Good finish there. Delonte Rayner. It's a 15-point deficit for Fairmount Heights. LaSalle able to get it across. Ireland takes it to the hole. He can't finish. Here's a pull-up 3 in transition. Johnson brought it down. Norman taken off his hands by DePietro. What a save. Here's DePietro at the top of the key. 3:11 to play. 15-point lead for LaSalle. The lane's opened up. Well done by Holland. Here's a corner 3. It's good. Daquan Thomas. And with under 3 to play, it's a 14-point lead for LaSalle. Still wouldn't go anywhere if I were you. Patty, your thoughts here on this 4th quarter?
Well, so far LaSalle is now towards the timeout. LaSalle is starting to slow down once they get past midcourt on the press, really trying to take more time off that clock instead of pushing up court and potentially causing turnovers, which is really helping Fairmount come back and start to chip at the lead and try and make this a game.
Kevin, if you're coming out of this timeout, you're Mike McKee. What are you telling your guys?
No unnecessary shots. I mean, control the ball, good passes, and no bad shots. I mean, if you take a minute off the time in your next possession, I mean, that'd be good timing for them. and then ending with a layup.
Yeah. I'd even say a minute-long empty possession is better than a, we'll say a 2-point basket 5 seconds from now. You know, that you might take one or the other, but you certainly don't want to rush anything. Knocked away from Timby. Good finish there, and it's a 12-point game. Another turnover. Jennings. He'll take it all the way in. There's one of those easy ones we were talking about. Keyshawn Johnson nearly lost his footing. Launches a tough one. No good. Patience here from LaSalle as DePietro will take it across the timeline. 2:05 to play. DePietro drives. That's a good find there. Jennings slow getting up the floor. And he's saying he got clocked, and it looks like he's got some blood across his lip. That's why the whistle came. He got to get a stoppage, and he can't believe that there wasn't a foul call.
Yeah, it was Keyshawn Johnson over the side of, right by the pass there. He went elbow to the face. Frustration.
After making that tough pass to DePietro as they made their way up the court, Sean found himself in the stands, and now blood coming out of the mouth.
This is one here where, you know, that's not right. And Chuck Henry came all the way out to the floor. Now you got tempers flaring on both sides. Mike McKee, a bench warning called against him.
Don't honestly have 5 out in the court right now. Only with 4.
Yeah. Oh, that's not right either. That can't happen. This game is, unfortunately, a little bit out of control at the moment for multiple reasons. Ireland didn't even go to the scorer's table, wasn't acknowledged by any referee. They let him come onto the floor with no consequence. Now a foul called. This is one where you just want the next minute and 50 seconds to go by without anybody getting hurt, without any extracurriculars.
No need for tempers flaring.
Timby's grabbing at his right wrist. Yeah, you don't need the tempers flaring. You're exactly right, Patty.
On the line, shooting 2.
Now, I'll say this. I was saying this before Ireland checked in without hitting the scorer's table or being acknowledged. That's one, a bench warning. If I'm Mike McKee, I'll take every step of the way. And I think my guys appreciate me standing up as the head coach for what, you know, felt like a little bit of bush league on the other side of the floor there. After the play, getting clocked. I mean, if nothing else, because I didn't see it as well as you guys did, but the reaction we got from the student section and student section adjacent was vitriolic in that they saw something, again, way offline and outside the bounds of the game.
I think Johnson felt like he got hit, I believe, when Timby went past him, maybe with the arm as he was passing him, and maybe just a bit reactionary hit, I think.
Johnson, he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2 at the line. 1:43 to play in this fourth quarter.
Southbound number 12, Charles Ireland. That's his first. On the line, shooting 2, Keyshawn Johnson.
It's a 14-point lead for LaSalle. Johnson hits the second. Great job there by LaSalle to break that pressure. Timby picks up his dribble in a tough spot, though, gets it across. Now Ireland pulls it back to the logo, and that's the idea. Keyshawn Johnson picks up the personal. Shane Holland to the line. 1:26 to play.
It's only number 2 there for Johnson.
Fairmount Heights foul number 2, Keyshawn Johnson. That's his second. On the line, shooting 2, Shane Holland.
75-60. I think it's 75-60. They put one up on the wrong team. We're going to keep our own score. They say 74-63. I got 75-62. And LaSalle across the timeline. Timby all the way to the hoop. Good right-handed finish, and that was the wrist he was grabbing at a little bit, so that is good to see him finish that cleanly. And it's going LaSalle's way. Moving screen called against Delonte Rayner. Well, in an effort to keep this consistent, we're going to go. Actually, you know what? I was right. So, as soon as I acquiesced, should have stuck to my guns. 77-63. 53 seconds left in the game. Holland across the timeline. No reason to hoist a shot. Sal might be able to get out of here. I speak too soon, as Keyshawn Johnson will finish with the left hand. Counted and one. Silly foul there from Ireland, and now an opportunity to tack one more on at the line. Well, I think this is a good learning opportunity. Good coaching opportunity for Mike McKee. Overall, tremendous game from this team. It's a Fairmount Heights team that was dispatching of a lot of competitors. 4-0 as reported on Max Preps to this point in the year. And they were blowing out a lot of teams. LaSalle came in, handled the pressure, took their number one weapon out of the game, Keyshawn Johnson, and really made him inefficient, though he did score a lot of points here tonight. However, what they'll remember and have an opportunity to learn and grow from is how to handle late game pressure when they have perhaps not a 20-point lead, but a more manageable lead, perhaps a more penetratable lead. And I think there are lots of learning opportunities in a winning effort, which is always the best way to get those lessons. LaSalle with an 11-point lead under 10 seconds to play. Fairmount Heights calling off the dogs. Final seconds of the game. LaSalle a winner, 77-66 here in the Holiday Tournament semifinal. They are on their way to the championship game, which will take place tomorrow, either noon or 1:30. Appreciate everybody being here with us. Appreciate Patty Hecker, Joe Shuron being here with us. Patty, what'd you think about your first time being on the air with us?
Well, a lot of pressure. I mean, it's the first time I've ever done something like this. A lot of thinking on the fly, a lot of trying to prepare what I say before I actually say it. I mean, but it's an overall fun experience.
Well, good. It's great to have you. Hopefully it's not your last time. We hope to see a lot more of you this year. Kevin, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for making your way here for what was actually a 6 o'clock tip. I told you at about 5:20, and here you were, ready to go when we were ready to go. So thank you for that. Thanks for making your way up from Baltimore. Thanks, as always, for being a big part of what we do at Bob Long Sports. And maybe we'll get you on at another point this year as well.
Yep, I appreciate it. It's always fun calling these games.
LaSalle, a big winner here at home. And the home record, pretty decent here for LaSalle. They win their last two here in Winmore. It was a win against Central High School, and then a win here tonight against Fairmount Heights. A two-game winning streak here for this Explorer team, trying to win the championship here tomorrow. Christian Brothers Academy versus Calvert Hall comes up next. We won't be here for this one, but if you find yourself in the area, come on down for some good basketball about 20 minutes from now in Winmore. Check it out. Support the school, support high school basketball here in Philadelphia. For Joe Shuron, who did a great job on color commentary and camera, as well as Patty Heckert, both camera and color commentary. Kevin McClernand on color. I am Bob Long saying so long here from Winmore. We'll see everybody real soon on another LaSalle College High School basketball broadcast. Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year as we cascade toward 2020.